Uh-oh. This is a recording of a live stream. It may contain bloopers and frequent distractions. The audio and video quality may vary. Thank you for your understanding, and please enjoy.
Well, then in that case, hello everybody, and welcome to another fantastic Dungeons and Dragons Tuesday here with the Northern Ventures group. How are you all doing today, boys? And, well, boys, we're limited. We're limited in scope.
A bit, yeah.
I am very good. How are you, Mr. Radzi?
Oh, very good. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. A little bit blindy today, but I can handle.
Yeah, so, Corm, do you want to borrow my glasses? I don't know if they're going to help at all, but...
We're just going to assume that Rurik just had a bit too much to drink and he's having problems focusing his eyes.
As usual.
Maybe.
He's in character in game and in real life. He's always in character. Always in character. Well, here we are. Another Tuesday has come round. Not as quick as we would like, but it's here nonetheless. So let's jump right into it. Who would like to give a recap as to what happened last
Let's start
time?
with introductions first, I'd suggest.
I know, I'm just trying to get a feel for who's the sucker this time.
Oh.
All right,
not you.
I'll just get it over with.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
after
no,
the
we'll
introductions.
do the intros. We'll do the
Yeah,
intros. But then you the sucker.
yeah.
Corm, begin.
Well then, for those who don't know me, I'm playing today Rurik, a dwarf who's a blood hunter. Just imagine a little fella with a mighty beard, being like somewhat Witcher Geralt, but just more dwarfish. And I will let you hear and introduce him when we're gonna start the roleplay. And basically him, short, dwarf, very grampy, drinks a lot, and falls asleep when he's bored.
Classic dwarf.
Classic wolf.
Classic.
Classic.
Well, shall we lead on over to his order brother? Am I saying that right this time?
Brother in
Order
arms.
brother, yes. That's
we
a
go.
way to describe it. So, I am playing Rune. Rune, also called the Blood Wolf, due to a story that happened when they both went out on their first adventure together. And, Rune, well, he's a dark brooding type. The most wicked beast is the one that thinks itself more. Rune's average, slightly muscular appearance gets overshadowed by his blood-red eyes. His battle-scarred face is partly obscured by a groomed white beard and framed by his shortish white hair. At his belt rests the sheath of his sax with an ornate hilt, while his body is covered in a thick scale mail with dark leather elements and a few damaged chunks right now. Sometimes you hear him mumble words in an unfamiliar language that sounds sinister as it sounds profane. There you go.
Each time that he makes me shit my pants.
I know. I'm like, man, my guy's so boring in comparison with all that sweet, dark voice voodoo magic. So, speaking of boring in comparison, I am playing Tamron, your classic human rogue. You gotta do what you gotta do. Tamron is a human being of average height. His physique, however, looks very sleek and athletic. His face is only barely visible beneath the black hood of his cloak, and he's wearing a set of battle-scarred leather armor with several daggers attached to them. To his side rests his ever-loyal rapier, and over his back, one can see a short bow of yew wood, as well as a quiver with red feathered arrows. While his piercing view rests upon you, you often see him displaying his sleight of hand by playing with a coin or a ring, which glides through his fingers. And if you turn your head, but only for a second, he's probably disappeared.
Ooh. Alrighty, let's continue with Mr. Dino.
All right. So I'm playing Zraythas, the OP dragon.
The OP dragon, indeed.
Yeah. He doesn't like cheap things. Doesn't matter how much it costs. as long as the deal is being closed. Well above 2 meters tall, very bulky individual, silvery scaled, and ornate robes with shades of grey and blue. On his belt, a very heavy pouch of coins, and in his grip, an enormous wooden oak staff, crowned by a blue crystal. Also, being in his vicinity can give you the chills, as everywhere he goes, he leaves a misty cold trail of I would say snow, but
Cold
yeah,
mist.
just
Yeah,
cold mist.
Snow.
I mean, I am an ice dragon after all.
Of course.
Nice
Maybe some
dragon,
like
ball.
little
Not
frost
quite a
sparks.
dragon.
The thing you don't know about Zraythas, his full name is Zraythas Jack Frost.
Actually, I wanted to say
Ultimate
like
dream is to become a snowman.
no. The thing is, I wanted to say like blue mist and then see the ice crystals like floating in there, but yeah,
Yeah, somewhat.
hard to explain without the proper
Yeah.
imagination.
So one of our members is not feeling too well today. Matchikennugget, your boy, he's not feeling 100%. So his character Blath will, for the most part, be a little bit out of action. We'll see what we can do in terms of interaction anyway as we go through today's session. But just for the sake of it, I will read out who and what Blath is about, and I'm also going to take the piss out of his voice.
Anyone down for a game of dice?
Blath doing Blath things. Blath is a tall, standing human being with a surprisingly dexterous, muscular frame, and his natural body movement suggests. His withered, scarred face is obscured by a thick, bushy beard, and more often than not, framed by a hood. His most notable features are his keen eyes that dart around rather fervently as if he's on crack, as well as his two short swords that rest at his hip. Chances are he unmatches you with the sword and bow alike, but one says you can at least beat him in gambling.
Well, somewhat true.
Somewhat true, because he won like the whole winning stash of the chest we opened.
Oh yes, yeah. And of
Yeah.
course, as well, I would respectfully ask that all of the streamers who are live right now execute sharing of the PayPal link for our wonderful DM, Mr. Jax. How are we doing this week, brother?
Greetings. I'm all right. Weather over here is kind of cloudy, and I'm very. That hurts me. Yeah, well, I'm doing all right. Kind of sends me a bit that Matt is feeling unwell, but can't do anything about that, can we? So let's just have a very chill session, as the last one was very intense. We need some calming down.
I'm still stressed from it.
Sound good. Glad to hear that. So as always, I would like to start with a quick recap of what happened last week. Last week it was Radzi's turn, so this
To
week
read
we're on
beautifully
Kormakrtv.
my summary I wrote in Discord.
Indeed, I managed to get away with this nicely.
And today let's go with Mr. Dino. Would you do us the honor?
All right, so I will probably not. Yeah, I probably do not remember everything.
Don't
but,
you worry, we'll help you out.
I think it was Fuller, right? Yeah. He showed us the deed of a new house, and we went to have a look. And well, it's a rather abandoned house. Pretty much, well, according to Fuller, there are ghosts over there, and well,
Yes, he bought it because it is supposedly haunted.
yes, and he was writing a book about ghosts, if I
Yes.
remember correctly.
That is
Mhm.
true.
And
Naturally, you buy a haunted one.
Of
Definitely.
course.
Of course.
the only way to do research is to actually be there. So him being scared of the ghost, plus not really using the house anymore, he decided to, instead of also he was short on cash, so instead
That
of
was the
offering
main reason, actually. He was still looking for that ghost and shit.
so instead of giving us cash, he decided to offer us the deed for a house, actually more like a mansion.
Yeah, he was short on cash, and he suggested that instead of the 100 gold pieces per head for you guys, you could have the deed to this haunted mansion, so to say. You inspected it. That was inspected it. It was a main part of the session, and after that, we had a very interesting combat encounter where Tamron once again almost died. You were attacked by a red-skinned tiefling who led a party of Kenkus. Most likely, as you know, Kenkus are very prominent within the Xanathar guild. There was a goblin accompanying them, leading them towards you. A fight ensued, a battle, one might even say.
Epic battle.
It didn't take too long. You managed to, take care of him. Two of the Kenkus fled, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And you survived. Barely. Also, at the
Barely.
beginning of the session, we had Tamron was actually kidnapped the session before, and was being approached by a shadowy, mysterious figure who wanted to recruit him. But he failed the initiation ritual, so to say, and was only spared barely as well. So very intense session for our character Tamron. There's some character development happening, definitely. But we will keep you updated on that, as it will be part of the session, obviously. So without further ado, I'd say let's jump right into it, unless you've got something else to say and to mention.
Nope.
Not really.
Let it begin. My body is ready.
So your mind.
You're still
No.
standing in the. I will just quickly open up the battle map that we used last time, so you get a better view. The battle ensued in front of courtyard, in front of the smithy, which is close by, and in the Trollskull Alley at the edge of it, actually, close to your potential new estate. As you were dealing the killing blow, many of you badly hurt. You actually, if I recall correctly, Tamron got back to consciousness with a natural 20 on his death saving throw, but still got stabbed and wounded very badly. Accumulated 2 fails already. It was an about 50-50 chance that he would actually die, but he just came back with, some last burst of energy. As you still hear in the distance the echoes of running footsteps of the 2 Kenkus that fled. You are covered in blood and dirt from the battle. As you heard from the smithy, the other side of the road, the door burst open, boom, and a couple come out. Both of them appear to be from a very unusual species, so to say. The male has ash-colored skin and burning hair, as well as burning eyes, while the female has blue skin with droplets of water all across it, almost like sweating, but not really. She doesn't seem to be exhausted, and her hair is blue and tied up together. The male is wielding a heavy black-colored maul, while the female is having a big tower shield, and they jump out as like a duo. What's happening here? as they watch over you and muster you. What do you do? What do you
I'm
answer?
quite badly
Jump
wounded
ba-
and low energy, so I just kind of look up and help us.
I don't want to be so melodramatic. You almost died. He goes like, claps him over the shoulder with a smirk, and then slowly, like, he had his hand crossbow because before Tamron woke up, he shot the tiefling, and Rune turns towards him, lowers his hand crossbow before he drops it on the ground, and points around and points at himself and the others, because most of us have bolts sticking in our bodies still. What does it look like? We got attacked. We defended our lives.
What about Zraythas and
Well-
Rurik?
I'll be like, not again. And I just hit my staff to the ground and create a cloud of icy mist around me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold your horses. What about you, Rurik?
I just lower my axe and look over my shoulder to them, heavily breathing from the battle. I was like, do we have to fight you too, or are you friendly faces? Actually, not wanna kill us.
You see the individual with the flaming hair drop his maul, boom, while approaching calmly. I'm sorry to hear that. Greetings, I'm Breck. This is my wife, Avi. Hi. We are the owners of the smithy. We heard sounds of battle outside our home. So what ensued? Tell me.
We're just walking here. Got sprung by, and he kind of kicks the Kenku behind him. These guys.
Birdfolk.
And a tiefling. And a goblin.
Bad omens. Well, if I was you, I would loot whatever I can before the city watches here. Because as you know, this is still a felony. Being attacked or attacking battle on the streets is punishable. It can be very costly, potentially costing your life if the charge should be murder.
That's...
Can't we then grab these corpses, drag them into your smithy, and loot them?
Do you want to
Oh.
incriminate these poor folk? No.
I'm sorry, dear gentleman, but we will not be involved in this.
No. Thank you for your warning, though. Let's just...
We are
stop what
honest
can.
bystanders and will, if questioned, answer what we know and what we perceived. But it will be up to the magisters to decide your fate.
Yeah.
Bystanders though you might be, are you bystanders with bandages, perhaps?
You see from the flame-head individual was like smirk appear. Oh, I'm sorry. We are in the business of hurting people. And I'm in the business of protecting them, but not necessarily curing wounds. I'm sorry. Alrighty, you guys. So, what do you do in the few minutes that you have to spare as you hear in the distance already whistles? Kind of
Since I'm
telling
standing
you-
next to the tiefling, I just would start to like search him. If
Make
there's
an
anything available.
investigation check.
Investigation.
Ooh.
Not too good, but it isn't that tough to check him out. You don't find any secret pockets or anything. The individual's carrying chainmail, the corpse, which is now somewhat damaged from the fight as you killed him. Out of one of his eye holes, there's a bolt sticking out till the end of his head. However, at his hip, you find 3 pouches. 2 of them containing weird dust or almost like one looks more like dust and a pepper like, and the other one is somewhat the little, almost like little rocks like sand, like really tiny portions. And the last one appears to be a coin purse, which has in it. I suppose you want to take all three of those.
Yeah, would I, as a blood hunter, know what these sands or little things are?
Would require some a little bit more investigation, but it feels like if those were spices, you wouldn't carry them in a pouch like that.
Okay.
So you assume them to be somewhat special. In the coin purse, you find 26 gold pieces,
Okay.
5 electrum, and 16 silver. Also, he is wearing a gold ring, which appears to be worth something. Not necessarily magical from the appearance, but an ornate golden ring. Almost looks like cords of a rope that are wrapped around the finger, but made out of gold.
So the pouches are like sort of around a belt or something?
Yeah.
And I would just grab the belt and like cut it open with my axe, put the belt into my pouch, and also just grab like a freaking corpse loader his ring off his arm, put it also in my pouch, and look into the group. Grab what you can, let's get out of here.
Grab any weapons we find and get out of here, yeah. So,
You wanna
Rune will
run?
I would grab any weapons I can find on the Kenku. Because I know the guy had like a magical sword that he summoned.
They were armed with either axes or short swords.
Okay.
So you would find 3 short swords,
Cool.
2 daggers, a battle axe, as well as 1 crossbow, a light one.
Ooh. Nice.
As I'm kind of getting from down on one knee up, because I'm still quite wounded, I've not been joining in with the looting. If you find any replacement daggers, you let me know, but can someone help me get the fuck out of here?
And Tamron just spills his words, and I'm done with the looting. I just go over there and grab one of his arm, and I'm actually standing because I'm like smaller than him. I don't have to put my head down, and put his arm around me and grab his back and like supporting him to walk.
Thank you, my friend.
Let's get going.
Alrighty. You want to run away? Did I understand it correctly?
We should probably try to hide, even though it's not our specialty. Because I have the feeling we will not outrun the guards with one of us injured as he is, and the fact that they have griffins.
I would actually turn with injured Tamron to those 2 individuals and ask them, can we stay at your place and we treat our wounded, refreshing ourselves, have a cup of water, or maybe ale?
Make a persuasion roll.
Ooh.
Tell you what, you can come in, you can have something to drink, and take care of yourself, but you will face the watch, will you not? Can't run away. Would be a very stupid thing to do.
Yeah,
But sure,
now we
come in.
just wait here for them.
They gesture you towards the door and the inside of the smithy.
Thank you.
Zraythas,
Yes.
you're the fancy and noble one looking. Maybe you just greet the guards and tell them what happened while we tend to Tamron and our wounds.
Sounds like a good idea. I'm sure the scrub will allow us to get away with this? After all, it is justified murder, isn't it?
Well, we defended ourselves and they
Don't
jumped us.
start with the fact that we killed people, please. And especially if it's that lieutenant again. He has already something against us. So...
Can't we just call for what was his name again?
Rune?
Yeah, Rainier. I mean, he knows the guards, right?
Some of them.
Well, the important ones, I guess.
Just try to be charming, and if they cause problems, tell them to get Rainier. How about that? Let's not get
Sure
him involved unless it's necessary.
Yeah, can't your magic do something? Just help me get inside.
So you're still having this conversation on the streets, kind of in the frame of the door, as you then, the four of you, including Blath, right, enter the home, kind of wash your wounds and get served a mug of water each. There's Zraythas outside, kind of leaning on his staff. You hear from the several corners of the city several whistles going off, and hear steps running. Dozens of them. You see a few inhabitants getting out of their houses and taking a look. A few commoners talking, looking strangely at you, as you are too covered in blood. If not red one, then blue one, though. So you took some punches as well, right? Although you look more burned, actually, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
But there's some impact on your clothing. It is apparent that you have been part of whatever transpired here. And it only takes a couple more seconds as you see about a dozen officers of the City Watch arrive with their batons and that claps out, "Halt! Stand ground!" And they
Fucking
kind of
stuff.
surround you. Drop your staff, wizard!
All right, so I will just like slowly. I will just tell them like, okay, I will just put this down and slowly bend over, down on the ground and
To the ground!
slow-
There you go! It only takes a few seconds till you feel the knee at your back pressing you to the floor, your hands being stretched out. Alrighty, make no shenanigans. We need no blood to spill here. What about... Is it there? Alright. Robes are here. And the one who talked to you, apparently one of the... not necessarily the guard commanders, but at least the leader of the squad, that appears. Although you can't see him since you're fixated. He turns, walks away. Greetings, sir, and Robe. We are not
Greetings.
necessarily sure about what has... He's not talking to you. He's further off talking to a few gentlemen who apparently arrived now. You hear slow steps, old ones, as well as a cane, somewhat, as well as another pair of calm steps belonging to humanoid. Alrighty, get him up already. You are no longer fixated and are held and set to your knees at least. As you see two individuals, one of them being a dwarf with golden hair, wearing glasses, who is dressed in purple blackish robes, leaning on a cane. And next to him, a kind human who's not the youngest anymore, with a little notebook next to him. Alrighty, friend. As we can see, you're part of this, so why don't you tell us what happened?
Well, you see, we were just minding our own business, having a stroll around the city, when the Skanku and Halfling just appeared out of nowhere with that little goblin over there. And, well, they just started attacking. And they appear to be of some cult.